In our last project, TG6, you learned to put code into a method so you can easily call the method from anywhere at any time. But the code ran exactly the same every time. Today we'll create a new method that prints the name game messages but will allow you to pass a name into that method. That code can then be called from anywhere at any time using a different name each time. Hi, I'm Annette Gotland. I'm the author of the Do-It-Yourself Java Games books. I teach Java programming through creating games. Welcome to the video version of my books. We're currently in the Text Games video series, TG, the first of 4 types of games series. The focus of this series is to cover the fundamentals of Java programming. No previous programming experience is required. You'll learn how, when, and why Java programs are written the way they are. This series has 16 projects. We're currently working on the 7th project, TG7, Finish the Name Game. In this project, we'll finish the name game we started in TG3 and added to in TG5. After printing the messages for a name, you'll be asked to enter another name or enter quit if you want to leave the game, as shown here. This is lesson TG7.1, where you will learn to use method parameters. If you want to run a method again, but with different data, you must pass the data into a method as a parameter. In this lesson, you'll create a method to expect a name as the parameter. The method will then print messages for that name. Exercise 1. Move the code into a method. Pause the video if you need more time in any of these exercises. If you want to see how I would complete any of the listings, please refer to the completed listings at the end of this video. Open the name game program that we created in TG3 and updated in TG5. Create a new private method named checkName with no parameters and returns nothing. Hint: go back to TG6 if you don't remember how to create a new method. Next, in the constructor, cut all the code that checks the name and prints the messages. Hint: use Ctrl+X to cut the code instead of deleting it. Then paste the code you cut from the constructor into the new checkName method. Hint: use Ctrl+V to paste the code. Next, call checkName from where you removed the code from the constructor. There's no need to run the code. You'll see many syntax errors in the checkName method. The syntax errors say name cannot be resolved to a variable. In other words, Java doesn't know what name is. Look at the blocks of code in your program. Name is declared inside the constructor, but print name plus be nimble is in a block of code outside of the constructor. Methods cannot see variables that were declared in a different method. Exercise 2. Declare name inside the method. Declare a new string named name inside checkName. Run it. What happened? It prints all the statements but doesn't use the entered name. This change made the syntax errors go away, but it won't print the entered name. How can you tell checkName to use the same name the user entered in the constructor? You pass it as a parameter. For example, when you use the print method, you pass the string as a parameter like this, print hello world. The print method is defined in DIY window to expect a string as a parameter like this, public void print string s. Exercise 3. Pass a string parameter. Pass name as a parameter when you call checkName. Change checkName to expect a string named name. Hint: you define a method to expect a string the same way print was defined to expect a string. Hint: name the variable name instead of s. Then remove string name equals empty string that was added to the checkName in the last exercise. Run it. What happened? It should now use the entered name in all the name game messages. Key points and more. Passing variables to methods. If your code has a value you want a method to use, pass that value as a parameter when you call the method. Define the method to expect that type of value as a parameter giving both the variable type and the variable name. The variable type defined in the method declared must be the same type as the variable passed in. The variable name defined in the method declaration may be different from the name of the variable passed in. The value of the parameter sent will be assigned to the new variable defined as the method parameter. The method can then use the new variable in its code. Parameters are only copies of the variables. The method changes only the variable that was defined as a parameter. It doesn't change the original variable in the code that called the method. If the method must change the value of the original variable, you should return the value or use instance variables instead of parameters. These techniques will be covered in later lessons. Here are the completed listings for all the exercises in this video. This is the end of the first lesson in the Finish the Name Game project. The name game should now run exactly as it did before you started this project, but now your code is better organized to be able to add code to check other names without restarting the program. In the next lesson, you'll learn about while loops that will repeat a block of code until a certain condition is met.